Would ya? How's everybody doing? Heart of the Moon is back to give a brief overview of a topic. The Cree model of self-sufficiency has caught the attention of Heart of the Moon. And like I said, Heart of the Moon would like to get to know the Crees better in person through consultation. But there are challenges to overcome, like language. But there are things available to overcome challenges. One of those things is willpower. The Crees have proven that for sure. Another is time. The consultation desired by Heart of the Moon with the Crees is not a sprint, it's a marathon. Also, Heart of the Moon is happy to do their part, turn over some stones, but not all of them. So, we encourage everyone to do their part as well. For example, I'll leave signposts like, look at Prometheus's mythology. Check for yourselves if it matches the Lord's profile or not. Also, one way the spiritual universe communicates to us is by symbolism. Often there are multiple meanings in artwork. So different meanings resonate with different people. Someone could have a unique viewpoint on a piece of artwork that no one else understands. It could be a special message for them, or a message that needs to be shared with everyone. The universe desires to share spiritual food with us, and that's universal. So symbolism is one way, but not the only way the universe speaks to us. So, relooking at the world around us through symbolism can help us boost our knowledge. Symbolism is universal. It can bridge the language barrier, so it puts responsibility on each of us to turn over our own stones. That's your journey. The first topic I want to briefly go over is symbolism. And when I discuss it in person, let's see if you can discern for yourselves what messages are embedded in the visuals and non-visuals. I want to share my opinion of the Ark of the Covenant. Inside it, the golden pot of manna and Aaron's rod, which was from an almond tree. The golden pot symbolizes the Holy Spirit. Aaron's rod symbolizes a portion of God. During the Exodus, the cloud represents a portion of God. The fire represents the Holy Spirit. The Levites represents a portion of God in the real world. The manna that fell from the sky or heaven that fed Israel in the desert represents the Holy Spirit in the real world. That was the Old Testament. In the New Testament, in myth, Prometheus, the firebringer, is a portion of God who shared the sacred fire with humanity. Heart of the Moon believes the myth of Prometheus, the firebringer, matches with Jesus, because Jesus is a portion of God who shares the Holy Spirit, the sacred fire, with humanity. So there's some homework for you. And if you like this and understand this and knows how to speak Cree, then help translate it for others. So what symbolizes God in the Ark of the Covenant? Well, we can start by referring to God's revelation to Elijah. It was demonstrated to Elijah that God is not a physical form, rather a still small voice, a whisper. Only two things went inside the ark. The rest was space, which is symbolic. We know air is made up of molecules, so it's something but nothing at the same time. In the inside of the ark, even the space is symbolic. The space or air symbolizes a still small voice, a whisper, and that's God. A cloud is very similar. It's something but nothing. That's why the cloud symbolizes a portion of God in the real world. God is not in the fire. God is in the cloud. That's why there's a pillar of cloud and a pillar of fire. They're separate. The zero could represent God because it's something yet nothing. But more on that later. Outside the ark are the cherubim. Rabbi Nachmanides thought the cherubim were manifestation of the hidden wisdom inside the ark. Heart of the Moon believes something very similar. Take a look at the substance of our universe. When we pull back and get a big view of our universe, we see the universe divided into two things, the light and dark. And then if we go back to Genesis, the universe or life issued from the void. And then the light and dark were separated. God, the source of life, is symbolized in the ark as space or air. The Lord, a portion of God, is symbolized as Aaron's rod. The Holy Spirit is symbolized as the golden pot of manna. The universe, or life, is symbolized in the cherubim, the light and dark of the universe. And, like I said in the beginning, the spiritual universe wants to share spiritual food with us. But there's also a language barrier to overcome. So one way of bridging the language barrier is symbolism. I wasn't raised on Jewish traditions, nor was I very familiar with the meanings of their sacred objects or their language. But I didn't need to know all that, because the universe communicates through symbolism, and the ark's symbolism communicated to me. Symbolism can be used for teaching, or can be used to communicate messages, personally or to the collective. The symbolism of the ark is beautiful because it communicates. We don't need to see with our eyes to get messages. If the universe is connected to Source as it's symbolized in the ark, then the source of life can communicate in a supernatural type of way outside of our sensory perception, like through our heart, mind, or spirit. Lastly, I just want to mention the cherubim can also represent a man and a woman. So, Iuischchi, I heard you like studying the future, so there you go. Figure that one out for a future discussion with you. Aguda, aguda. Coming up in another message is another brief overview of a topic. The topic is mythology, such as Aquarius and Pisces. Here's something different. Go out and howl at the moon, or be still as a whisper.